living with constant fear and anxiety. The family of Matthew Thomas speak out after the man who murdered him outside a nightclub is jailed for life. The challenge for wheelchair users booking concert seats. Kat Watkins made more than 1,000 calls to see Ed Sheeran at the Principality Stadium. From Doctor Who to Casualty to Grand Slams, as the BBC marks 100 years since its first broadcast from Wales, we look back at some of the many highlights. And to mark the anniversary, a broadcast with a difference tonight as Lucy goes behind the scenes here to live stream Wales Today for the first time.
Well, it's you, hello in tonight's sport. After that record defeat to Scotland, can Wales recover with England lying in wait at the end of the month?
On this mic here. Yes. I might just before we're going to leave there before the hair, so I'm going to do. Yet, technically, though, I haven't got my mic. The mic's in the studio.
Smaller, and they're flying at lower altitudes. So what are they? A US military official, when asked if they could be aliens, said he was ruling nothing out, but they might just be weather balloons. But the growing alarm has taken its toll, including on US-China relations. In Beijing, the foreign ministry has denied sending spy balloons and is claiming it's seen more than 10 American balloons over its territory.
Are we on to this?
And here in the UK, there are now plans to see if any have been seen nearby.
I wouldn't comment in detail on security matters, but people should be reassured that we have all the capabilities in place to keep the country safe, including the protected.
So what are these objects? They may be a mix of different things, but whatever they are, the mystery surrounding them is fueling anxiety and international tensions.
Thank you very much, Morgan. Hello, the Queen Consort is tested positive for COVID. Buckingham Palace says she's suffering cold-like symptoms and will cancel all her public engagements for the rest of the week. The Queen Consort, who's fully vaccinated, is said to be in good spirits and resting. The former Metropolitan Police Officer Wayne Cousins, who murdered Sarah Everard, has pleaded guilty at the Old Bailey to 3 counts of indecent exposure. The last offences took place in February 2021, just days before Sarah Everard's murder. Cousins had been facing 3 other counts of indecent exposure, which prosecutors are now pursuing. Our special correspondent Lucy Manning is here with me. And Lucy, the timing of these offences is very simple.
Yes, these passed it on to the police. If the police had checked that car registration, it would have shown that it was Wayne Couzens' car, and they would have then found out he was a police officer. He would have been suspended, would have been questioned and arrested. That didn't happen. 4 days later, he kidnapped, raped and murdered Sarah Everard. The Met Police in a statement gave us a bit more detail tonight. They said a local officer had started the investigation. It hadn't been completed by the time Sarah Everard was killed, and they didn't know his profession at that stage. But many women complain that indecent exposure isn't taken seriously, and this is just a devastating possible miss that could have stopped Wayne Couzens.
Thank you very much. Lucy Mann there. The time is 19 minutes past 6, our top story this evening. A week after 2 large earthquakes caused devastation in Turkey and Syria, the United Nations says the rescue phase of the relief effort is drawing to a close. And we hear from campaigners fighting to protect Londonderry's water supply, threatened by a huge illegal waste site nearby.
In Wales today, the challenge for wheelchair users booking concert seats. Kat Watkins made more than 1,000 calls to see Ed Sheeran. And from Doctor Who to Casualty, 100 years since the first BBC broadcast from Wales, we look back at some of the many highlights.
A bold new way of helping relieve the housing shortage is underway in Bristol, where a charity is building a micro-home.
Hello, and a huge welcome to all of you who are joining us on the BBC Wales News website and on the BBC Wales Facebook page. Before we go any further, I should probably introduce myself. I'm Lucy Owen, and I can quite often be found sitting in that chair where you can see Nick Savini this evening as a presenter of Wales Today. This is a first for us. It's very exciting. This is the first time that we've done a live stream behind the scenes on Wales Today, and we're doing it, of course, to mark 100 years of the BBC in Wales. It's very exciting. This is 2A. This is our main Wales Today studio. Let's have a quick word with Nick. He's just done a live insert into the main network news, trailing the programme. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. This is exciting, isn't it?
It's very exciting. So how has the run-up been today? If you're anything like me when you're presenting, the afternoons are pretty crazy.
Yeah, it goes in a flash. So we start about lunchtime, and it's just getting your head round all the different developments. Speaking to producers, you know, you'll get to meet some of the team behind us, the different researchers for each different story, the directors, and then all the stuff in here, you know, which maybe people don't realise. It's just working out where to stand, which cameras to look at, and roughly how long everything's going to be, where to sit down, where to stand in the corner, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing studio. I mean, the biggest change for us coming to Central Square was the fact, I think for me, that all the cameras are now automated. They're all robotic. We don't have anybody operating the cameras in studio. And of course, let's just take a look at these incredible screens that we have here. I've got a fascinating fact for you here. 3 screens of LED containing almost 30 million pixels, Nick. 30 million pixels. And it gives us a really immersive experience, doesn't it?
Amazing. And I don't even know if people watch it on a big screen, you'd never quite replicate how dramatic they can be. You know, some of those shots from Snowdonia, the Brecon Beacons, I feel like I'm there. You know, it's amazing, just surrounded by these shots.
It is amazing. Look, I'm very conscious of the time. It's now 8:22. You're going to rehearse the headlines. We've got Thomas David over there who's on sport. Hi, Thomas. If it's okay, I'm going to come back and have a chat to you later because I know that the director will be nagging you to do headline rehearsals. So I'm just going to come round here. We're going to talk to Ian, Ian is on autocue here. Now, this is a very important job. Ian is the presenter's friend. Actually, oh look, you can see him rolling the autocue now, if you can come a little bit closer. So there's a lot of control with this rolling of autocue because if Ian goes too fast, the presenter has to speed up. If he goes too slow, then the presenter really has to slow down. And I've rolled autocue before. It is quite a lot of pressure because if you get it wrong, you immediately hear the presenter stumble and you feel like it's your fault. So big job for Ian there. Okay, right. I'm going to leave him to it because he's clearly in the thick of it there. Right, follow me. We're going to go to the gallery now and we're going to meet some of the directing team. Here we go. Let's just come out here. Okay. Right. Oh, do you know what? I forget how tense it is before a broadcast. But come with me, we're going to go to the gallery. But this is Central Square. Now, we moved here in 2020 during the pandemic. It was really difficult for lots of the teams because, we had to move in gradually, and it's great to see the building now really, really thriving and full of people. And we like to think that this is one of the most open, accessible, technologically advanced and environmentally sustainable broadcasting centres in the world. We're right in the heart of Cardiff, and it enables us to bring you news from right across Wales, even though we're in the heart of the capital city. Let me just show you this. This is a gallery for one of our other studios. I don't know whether you can see it very clearly, but this gallery operates a green screen studio. So you just basically stand on this green screen, and through the miracle of modern technology, images form around you. So while the presenter is seeing a green screen all around them, what you're seeing at home is sometimes a Wales Today studio. But look, come with me again, because we're going to go to the Wales Today gallery. I'm going to get my pass out here. You can't get anywhere in this building without this pass. Security is tight, let me tell you, but we have access all areas today. So come with me. There we go. So this is sound, so that's where we get all our microphones in there. So that's Glenn, he'll be riding all the sound levels so we make sure we hear everything clearly. Let's just come into the gallery here. This is Nikki, who is producing the programme today. I'm under strict instructions not to talk to Nikki because this is generally quite a tense time. But Nikki's job is to decide what goes into the programme, what order we run those stories in, and also what we put into those stories, what pictures we use to tell those stories, who we get to interview for those stories. I'm going to introduce you to Carolyn now, who's our director. Right. It seems pretty calm at the moment, is that right?
It's reasonably calm. We've gone through the headlines, they all work well, and I've just been checking our playlist. This is all the items that we've got coming up in the programme. Everything's actually in, which is amazing.
And you've got quite a big job here. It's not just calling the shots, is it? There's a lot of work that goes into the run-up to this. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
I've been building a running order all through the day, talking with Nikki what she wants, and then putting a load of codes. And as you can see here, this is all the various automation that's going to tell the computers what to do as we go through the programme. So we've got camera shots, we've got the reports that you're going to see the screens, they'll all be changing as we go through the programme. So this, I tell this to go to the next item, and he'll literally do it. It's very, very good.
I think your role's a real combination, isn't it, of creativity and technological expertise, because you're deciding what images go in the screen, but you're also deciding what cameras we use, and you're cutting up those cameras, aren't you?
That's what you're going to see now as we go on air. We literally got about 5 minutes to air now. So I'm keeping my eye on the 6 o'clock news, and I'm listening to their talk back, so I know when we're going to be coming to us. So it's roughly about 31:30 today, so we're looking at the time now, coming up to 27 minutes past, so we've got a few minutes. So I've got to set up, make sure we're out of this bypass so that we don't see any of the 6 o'clock news going into the viewers' homes. So I will come out of that, and then we go live on air as soon as they tell us to opt out. So I'm waiting for them to say, which will be in about 4 minutes' time.
Oh my gosh, I'm actually getting butterflies a little bit, and I'm not even presenting or doing anything today. Si, hello. Now, we talked about how the cameras in studio are automated now.
Yes.
But we also need your technological expertise, don't we? Talk me through what you do.
So basically, yeah, it's all automated, the lights, the cameras and everything, but the thing is, it's not perfect. So obviously you have different size presenters. So I can select camera 1 here, and I can tweak, and I can change the shot size depending on who's sitting there on that day. And I can change the focus, pan, tilt on that. I can also change how much light I put into it, so change the aperture, and basically anything that needs tweaking I do from here. I can also select outside sources onto the stack, which means that if you've got a piece coming from, you know, Central Cardiff or something like that, then I can check it on, and basically that's how we get it onto your screens.
It's really clever stuff, isn't it? And you can also adjust the colour, is that right?
Yeah, I can adjust the colour there, basically. I won't do it now because we're ready to go on air, but yeah. Because it's like, you know, there's a lot of tweaking and it's quite a lot of detail involved in it. I've also got the lights there, the fader ring, and I've got all these screens basically do something.
Oh, it's really clever stuff, isn't it? Okay.
3 minutes to air.
3 minutes to on air. Okay. Yes. Now, this is something else I need to talk to you about, because we are doing a live shot in the headline sequence into Wales Today. And the reason that we're doing this live shot into the headline sequence is because this is a first. We have never live streamed behind the scenes at Wales Today before. And of course, we are marking 100 years of the BBC in Wales, 100 years since the first broadcast. And that is what is making us newsworthy today. So, Geraint, I haven't introduced you to our lovely cameraman Geraint, who is behind the scenes there. You'll be seeing him a little bit later, is filming everything that you're seeing at the moment on the live stream. But also you'll notice Rodri down there. Now, Rodri is going to be filming our live shot for Wales Today. It's kind of spinning my head as well, so it must be spinning yours too. So Rodri's going to be taking a shot of Geraint and I in here as Nick reads over with the words with his headline. Have you got it? Okay, I think that's what's happening. So it's just a couple of... What's that?
They're catching their breath before they actually go on air.
Oh yeah, you can. I don't know whether you can see this, but yeah, Thomas and Nick having a nice little chat there in studio. Yeah, you see, look at this. 2 minutes to air. Nick and Thomas caught on camera having a nice little chat. As you can see, it's quite a calm programme tonight. I'm being told by Carolyn to come over here. Okay, we can get a better headline shot over here. So I'm going to come here and, okay, right.
News going into the weather now, so this is when we've really got to make sure we're ready to go. So I've checked everything. We're good to go on here. Check the running order here that they're tying up together. We're good to go. Check Nick's in position, checking the camera shot. Nick does like to move around quite a lot, so it's not the easiest to frame.
Busted, Nick Savini.
He's still Nick. Yeah, stay put, because once we've got the shot framed, he needs to stay like that. But we're ready to go. We got in transmission now. You can see up there. We're good to go. So we are ready, playing into the 6 o'clock news now. So as soon as I press this button here, we are on air. Okay. So now it's getting close. It's about a minute. 1 minute to go. So I'm listening to the 6 o'clock news talk back. And what I want to hear is them say opt out. And as soon as I hear them say that, I'm going, okay? And Nick will wait for me to cue him, and that's it. So that's what we're waiting for now. And you get ready for your live shot, okay?
Right. It's our big moment. So I'm looking at you while we're live streaming, but I'm also looking at Rodri, who is over there taking our live shot for Wales Today.
I think there's an issue. They've got an issue in the 6 o'clock news. There we are, and we pick up on that.
Across England and Wales, but by Friday, heavy rain is then followed by some widespread.
Okay, so stand by. It's not long now.
Thank you, Matt. And that is the BBC's News at 6. You can keep up with all the latest developments on the BBC website. From the 6 o'clock team, it's goodbye, but the news does continue on BBC One, as it now it's time to join our colleagues across the nations and regions for the news where you are. Bye-bye.
And we're taking...
Q.
Thanks, Rita. Hello, you're watching Wales Today. I'm Nick Savini.
Q.
More damaging allegations against the Welsh Rugby Union, claims of homophobic language about the referee Nigel Owens, and another of misogyny.
Even volunteering is like you get sucked
Good
in
for you.
into this, I don't know, monstrosity. And it's not good for you.
The boss of the WRU condemns the behaviour as an independent review gets underway into the culture at the organisation. Also tonight, living with constant fear and anxiety, the family of Matthew Thomas speak out after the man who murdered him outside a nightclub is jailed for life. The challenge for wheelchair users booking concert seats. Gav Watkins made more than 1,000 calls to see Ed Sheeran at the Principality Stadium.
Solve. Okay, Dickens Hugh.
From Doctor Who to Casualty to Grand Slam.
Okay, I think they're getting ready now to take our live shot. So here we go. I'm going to be chatting to you as they cut to us live around now. I'm whispering because I know they are taking this shot live on Wales Today in this gallery right now. Pretty amazing, hey?
Hello, in tonight's sport. After that record defeat to Scotland, can Wales recover, with England lying in wait at the end of the month?
Well done, smooth. It was really smooth. Well done, Carolyn. Thank you. Top link, here we go.
And walk. Walk. Cue.
Good evening. As an independent review begins its job looking into claims of sexism at the Welsh Rugby Union, there are further damaging allegations tonight into the culture at the organisation. One former female employee has told us how she felt isolated, with a man telling her it was nice she wasn't busy in the kitchen. Another former senior referee has spoken about what he says was the everyday use of homophobic language about the former international referee Nigel Owens. The WRU says such behaviour has no place in society. Nellie Bird has this report, and just a warning, it does contain offensive language.
You're listening to BBC
Good.
Radio
Well done,
1's
everyone.
Breakfast.
Great. Good job.
And we're off.
That was good.
That was so amazing. I mean, we keep talking about how this is a first for us, and it really is pretty incredible, isn't it? Absolutely. Well, look, thank you so much for your time. We're going to leave you in peace now. But yes, we'll see you later. Nikki, I know you wouldn't talk to us before air, but I want to see you after the programme, okay? That's a promise. Si, thank you very much. Good luck with the rest of the show. Right. We're going to leave the gallery. Gosh, that was really exciting. I mean, I know I present Wales Today quite a lot, but it was even really exciting for me being in the gallery as we're going live on air. So, I'm now going to take you upstairs to the technological hub at BBC Wales. Basically, this area gets everything that we do from that gallery or from our radio studios or from transmission, basically out to your TV set, to your radio. Yeah, just so how you can see everything that we do here. And while we're here, I just want you to take a little look at Central Square, because it really is such an impressive building, isn't it? Now, this is the second floor where you see that orange area there. That's where we have our Wales Today meetings. Just to give you a little bit of geography, the Wales Today studio is kind of in the corner behind that. And I've got some pretty fun facts actually about the BBC Wales News team. They work from 3:30 a.m. to midnight, getting our air. Getting everything on air and online. And oh, by the way, if you can hear a bit of applause upstairs, that's because we are at the moment having an event to celebrate 100 years of the BBC in Wales. Now, our news team receive 600 emails every day, as well as hundreds of social media comments on stories that are already running. And each of these could be a potential news story. So we have to decide whether we can follow up any of these, but we really do consider everything that you get in touch with us about. So, you know, please do keep those comments coming. Now, our news department makes around 200 routine calls to the emergency services in a week, calling the police, Coast Guard and the fire service every 3 hours. We have 11 camera crews travelling across Wales, offices across the country too, Bangor, Wrexham, Carmarthen, Swansea. And of course, as well as Wales Today and Newyddion, the 1 o'clock news, the 6 o'clock news, the 10 o'clock news also sometimes come from Central Square. In fact, Newsnight is coming from here this evening. I don't know whether we can see the screens. No, we can't from this angle. But Newsnight is coming from here tonight. And then tomorrow, the 6, I think, and the 10 o'clock news are coming from BBC Central Square too, which is brilliant, isn't it? I think the aim is to make sure that we get our news services from right around the country. So it's great that they're coming to Wales too. Major achievement, I have done the stairs without tripping up, so that's great. That's a first. So I'm bringing you now to the technological hub of BBC Wales that I was telling you about. This is how everything gets into your living room or onto your radio. It's pretty impressive stuff, isn't it? Just take a look at all these monitors. It is pretty extraordinary. It kind of blows my mind whenever I look at it, and I couldn't possibly begin to explain all the technology that goes into this. We know, don't we? I've told you that this is one of the most technologically advanced news centres in Europe. And luckily, we have somebody here who's going to be able to explain it to you a little bit better than I can. Gito, it's great to see you. Thank you very much. I have made it, yes.
Cool.
Right, talk me through what is going on here, because I couldn't possibly begin to explain.
Well, essentially what you've got here is the nerve centre of a broadcast centre. So there's lots of activity happening, news, radio, sport, drama, post-production, all kinds of things, but nothing happens without this area here. Every signal that comes into this building, whether it's coming from satellite, from a contribution, all those people who come into Wales Today to do interviews live down the line, all those things, or radio contributions, everything comes in through these guys here, and everything that ends up on your TV set at home, and in this case a web stream that's going out on different platforms, all of that comes out or goes out through here. So that's for BBC Wales TV on BBC One and BBC Two Wales, S4C, so we do all of the technical services and transmission for S4C as well, through Playout, which is just down there, you might pop down there later, and then all of our radio services, which as of today includes network radio, with Radio 2 launching their early breakfast show from here for the first time. A big landmark event on a big landmark day for BBC Wales.
Yeah. So the people that we can see working here, different people in charge of different channels there, is that how it works?
So predominantly you've got Soju here, give us a wave. Soju is on the radio desk here, then we've got an S4C position, a BBC position, and right at the far end when you started your sweep is the outside broadcast position, which we'd use more for outside broadcast. So for example, the rugby match on the weekend, we won't dwell on it,
No,
but that would have come through the position on the OB desk. There are quieter days and busier days. When it's nice and calm and quiet, it's a good sign. It means that all the planning's happened, there are no technical issues. When somebody gets up and walks over, there might be an issue, and of course that's when we earn our money and we intervene and we try and make sure that everything stays on air. Broadcasting is a minefield. It's full of things that can go wrong and do go wrong, and so the guys here are all engineers, and their job is to try and keep everything on air all of the time.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredible stuff, and this is cutting-edge technology, isn't it? I mean, this really is the best of the best, isn't it, that we're lucky enough to have
It is,
here?
and it's also streamlined in terms of the number of staff, because you'd go traditionally, and some of the archive stuff that people may have seen in recent days, and even today, looking back in the past, there were teams of people putting stuff to air. It's very much cut back now, and we've got another team sitting in here, and there's only two at the minute, looking after all the file deliveries for TV programmes you'll be watching later on tonight. Stuff that isn't live, it all comes through here. So whatever anybody else tells you on this tour, this is the heart of the building.
Okay, well, bear that in mind. Giselle, thank you so
Okay.
much for explaining that to us. Brilliant. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to take you round the corner here now to an area called continuity. So, you know, in between programmes, when you hear somebody say, and coming up next on BBC One Wales, it's round here. Can you tell that I don't come up to this area very much? Oh, Garrett, I'm glad you know your way around. Okay, so in here, the continuity is going on for BBC One Wales. In here, we've got the continuity going on for BBC Two Wales. Hi, you're being live streamed on the BBC Wales Facebook side and the BBC Wales. Indeed, happy birthday to us. Isn't this a great corridor? I absolutely love this corridor. It might be one of my favourites. It's just so bright. And then the continuity for S4C is in there. We're very much a bilingual broadcaster here at BBC Cymru Wales. This, I really like this here. So this shows what is going out on BBC One, BBC Two, S4C. Here you've got all the schedules listed too. So I guess that really helps the people who are doing continuity just to kind of keep across what they've got to do. That's all I can tell you about that. I'm not an expert in this department, as you can tell. So we're going to go downstairs again now, back to Wales Today, because I'm going to be doing a live into Wales Today in a few minutes, I think. So we're going to head back down the stairs here now, back to the Wales Today studio. I'm going to be outside the studio for this live, but I hope you'll bear with me because I would like to talk you through getting ready for this live broadcast. So I'm hoping it'll give you a bit of an insight into, you know, what we do as reporters before a live. I actually get quite nervous, so you might have to bear with me. It's funny, it's fine chatting to you because we're all friends here now, aren't we? This bit I don't find so scary, but as soon as we're going into Wales today, I do get a little bit nervous about it, and I think the main reason for that is, and I think the rest of the team feel like this too, is because we want to get it right and we want to make it the best it possibly can be for you, and that's what it's all about. So look, you remember Rodri, who you met earlier, he's over here. Oh look, and there's Derek. Hi Derek, how are you doing?
I'm okay, Lucy.
Oh good. So
just putting the finishing touches to my weather graphics over there in the corner, and then I'll be nipping into the studio.
Brilliant. And how's it all looking? Has it been a calm day for you today?
It's been quite quiet today.
Yeah.
The weather's playing ball at the moment,
Yeah.
so bit of frost tonight, few mist and fog patches, more sunshine tomorrow, and spring-like temperatures.
Look at that, an exclusive weather forecast on the live stream. But I mean, your job is really technical now, isn't it? You do all your own graphics, don't you?
Yeah, things have changed a lot over the years. I've been broadcasting at BBC Wales for over 25 years now. I've seen lots of changes. You know, when I first became interested in the weather when I was 8 years old in the mid-70s, we still had those magnetic symbols, but these days, you know, with technology, you know, we've got these super-duper weather graphics now, which, you know, make my job a bit easier.
Amazing. Well, look, best of luck with the forecast, and I'll chat to you after the programme if that's okay. I'm about to go and do my live now. You know I get nervous about these things. That's Derek, our star weather presenter. Okay, right, 5 minutes. I'm going to put this microphone down here, so you'll still be able to hear me on the live stream. We've got 5 minutes to our live. Oh, I'm Ruth, thank
There's your mic,
you.
no
This is
problem.
Miriam, is looking after me.
Trying to.
No,
Trying to expert.
reminding me. Okay, so I'm just going to get my mic on for this now.
Is that all okay?
Yeah, brilliant.
Fabulous.
Thank you,
No
lovely.
worries.
Thank you so much. So I'm going to pop that in my back pocket. I've already got my talk back here somewhere. Oh my gosh. Somewhere? How about, yes. Oh, nervous moment. There it is. I've got my talk back. So now I'm going to be hearing everything that Carolyn is saying in the gallery now. Carolyn's telling me now in my ear that it's 4 minutes to on air for me. So I'm going to put this microphone on. Right. Okay. Right, so bear with me. I've got my talk back on. Yes? Okay, so we're going to try and get in the right position so that we're just behind Nick. Okay, so if I was here? Too far? So I'm... Okay, brilliant. Yes, that's great. Yes. All right, okay. So we're just fixing it. Oh, there you are. Good. I need to get this microphone as well, sorry. Yeah, so we were just fixing up our shot there so that when they come to us live on Wales Today, they can see me in the back of Nick's shot. So we were just lining that up. Carolyn was telling me where she needed me to stand. So we worked out that if we're standing around here, Carolyn's telling me now it's 2.5 minutes to on air. Not exactly sure quite what I'm saying at this point. Might try and have a quick look through something that I scripted earlier. I tend to try and script or give a rough outline of what I want to say when it comes to doing a live, but you can often guarantee that it doesn't come out like that. Okay, Karen's talking to me again. Karen's telling me to pull my jumper down at the back because it's sticking up. So you see, she looks after me every step of the way. So shall I hold this microphone while I'm doing the live as well? So so you can hear. Okay, so it's 2 minutes now before they come to us. I'm just going to run through what I've prepared here. Okay.
Relaunch of Doctor Who. budget dramas have
How
been
is that?
based and produced here. Welsh actress Suzanne Packer was in the cast of Casualty when the series moved from Bristol to the Rothlock Studios in Cardiff.
The best thing about having massive productions here now is that there's a sense that you don't have to go to London. The fact that you can literally build a career in 1 minute left on this.
Okay, so it's 1 minute on the piece, and then Nick's going to be linking to me live. And while he's linking into me, he's going to be seeing all of us in the back of shot. So I'm going to turn around and sort of give him a bit of a wave. We've never done anything like this before, but I need to remember. So when we're doing, Carolyn's telling me that I need to look at Nick while he's doing his link, and then I need to turn to Rodri, and I'll still carry on talking to you. I'm not going to forget the live stream. 30 seconds, here we go. Ooh, I've got slightly sweaty palms. Okay, here we go. Counting out of the package now, 10 seconds. Thank you very much, Nick. Right, we need to try and get our heads around this. So I am talking to you live on Wales Today, but I am also talking to people live on the BBC Wales News Facebook page and live on the BBC Wales News website page. This is Geraint, our cameraman, and behind there is Rodri, another cameraman, so you'll have to excuse me if I get confused about which camera that I'm talking to. But basically the reason that we're doing this is, of course, we are marking 100 years of the BBC in Wales, which is super exciting, and we wanted to do something different. This is a first. We have never ever done this before, and the reason that we wanted to do it is because while we are incredibly grateful to the hundreds of thousands of you that tune in to BBC Wales Today every single day, we're also aware that people are also getting their news from other platforms as well. They're getting them online, they're getting them from BBC Sound, sometimes catching up on news bulletins there. So we really wanted to kind of fuse all this together and just give you a little taste as well of what is going on behind the scenes. Now, for our live streamers, I'm getting told that I have 10 seconds left on this live, which means that I need to wrap this up. And Nick, I'm going to hand back to you, but if it's okay, I will be coming back into that studio to come and have a chat with you afterwards to find out how the programme was for you. We'll chat to Derek, our star weatherman, and Thomas Davids, who's going to talk us through the sport. But now I'm just going to hand back to you right through there. Oh my gosh, I forgot I was still on then. Okay. Oh, hot and flustered after that live. That was really amazing. That was so cool. I can't believe that we just did that. Right, let's keep going. The tour is not over. So we're going to leave Nick. This is the BBC Wales News team. Hello, Wales Today team. Look how hard they're working. The hardest working team in BBC Wales. Well done. Great to see you all. Thank you so much. So we've got Radio Wales here. I'm assuming that everybody is working hard and on air and in studios on Radio Wales. We have planning right here. That is Pete working hard, ignoring me completely. That's Pete. This is where Derek sits, and that's where he does all his weather graphics. Yep. So he's been working hard on those today, but follow me. We're going to come along here. Do you know what? This actually, if you take a look out there, this gives you a really good idea of where we are. I mean, that's Cardiff Central Railway Station. As soon as people come out of that railway station, they see BBC Wales. And I think for us, that feels kind of quite significant. It makes us feel like we're at the heart of the capital city, and a great place to broadcast about the whole of Wales, despite us being focused in the capital. So I'm bringing you along, backstage here. Okay, you're going to love this. Tea and coffee making facilities, absolutely vital. A lot of caffeine gets consumed in the cafe area there. A couple of fridges where we keep our lunches. Do you know what? I've got Carolyn in my ear in the nicest possible way. I'm going to take Carolyn out of my ear for now. These are the edit suites here. So lots of the reporters will edit their own packages actually at their desks, but they'll often send them down to the edit corridor here, and they will polish up the packages, make sure the sound is correct, perhaps put some visual effects on it. Also, all the videos that you see on digital, they're also cut here as well. I'm coming into this edit suite now. This is 2A. So we've got Nathan, who's been editing today, and Sharon Preet has been working on a report today for Wales Today. Sharon Preet, tell me about the story that you've been working on.
Sure. So my story was all about the difficulty that some disabled people face when they're trying to get tickets to things like gigs, matches, sports events, festivals, all those kinds of things. So the story actually came from my colleague Natalie. You can read her article on the story online. And her son is disabled, so she'd actually experienced this problem firsthand, experienced that for the extra support he might need at venues, it can be really difficult to get the tickets. So I did the TV piece. You can see it playing just behind me here, and I spoke to this lovely lady, Kat Walkins. She told me about, well, first of all, she absolutely loves gigs. She loves going to gigs. She's a huge rugby fan, so she's always out and about watching things. But she needs a wheelchair, and she also needs a companion when she goes to these events. So she can find she's sat on the phone for hours. It's really time consuming. She can't get tickets. Sometimes she misses out altogether.
And it's great that we're covering these kinds of stories on Wales Today. It's really important to us at the moment because we have this campaign, don't we? Talk Disability. And tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Talk Disability is BBC Cymru Wales's commitment to disability, both on and off screen. So on screen, we've got programmes like this highlighting the issues that many disabled people face. I mean, I think it's really important to us that we represent the people who watch our programme. And in Wales, something like 27% of the population is disabled. So it's absolutely crucial, really, that we reflect the issues that are important to our viewers. And there are also going to be some traineeships specifically for disabled people. So that's a great way to get people into the business as well.
Oh, it really is. Well, great job with the report. Thank you so much for talking us through that. Sharon Preet, thank you. I'm going to leave you there now. I'm going to bring you to our graphics department. Now, you saw those amazing screens that we have in studio. So the graphics department are responsible for creating some powerful images. And this is Emir. Hi.
Okay.
Hello. So your
Hi.
job is very important now, isn't it? Because the screens are such a big part of Wales Today.
Oh, no,
aren't
they are,
So
yes,
to
that's right,
get
yes. To get them right.
Yeah.
Sometimes takes quite a length of time, but other times it can be, fairly quick. But,
Talk us through
So,
it. We're on
yes,
sport
sorry,
now,
yes, that's
actually,
right. Well, actually,
on air, aren't we?
that's right. We've just actually shown this on the studio wall, so it's actually just gone out. But this is obviously the current Six Nations wall. The template I'm using is one that enables me to position cutouts and logos and position to create an overall design for the wall. So if I actually go in on this, so you can see it a bit easier, I can move it over here. So Gatland was the main choice of imagery today, but if I just click on that, I can actually change that to Ken Owens or add another player. But while we're doing that, we need to bear in mind where it is in relation with any presenter standing against the wall. So that is the furthest part of the wall there. And if I go back to this side here, that's actually the desk side. So we make sure then that nothing is going out of anybody's heads or, so if it's in the wrong place. So that's how we kind of create walls for the studio.
Oh, it's fascinating, isn't it? I love it. And I mean, you get the chance to be really creative with this job as well, don't you?
Oh, totally, yes. I mean, we do informational graphics as well. So, it's not just like the walls that we do, and we do insets. So it's quite varied, and it's obviously whatever's in the news we have to cover. So Sometimes the stories are incredibly interesting, other times, and they need a sort of graphic input as well. So, you know, it's
that little bit of extra sparkle.
So it's never a dull day, put it like that.
Well, you do a brilliant job,
That's
and thank
okay,
you so
thank you
much.
very much.
Oh, I can see there, Derek is on the weather live, so we're going to head back to studio very shortly because the programme's going to be coming off air. But before that, I just want to head over to Newyddion, because the studio 2A where Wales Today comes from is also Newyddion Studio. And after the programme, you'll see a massive transformation as the Newyddion graphics are put into the screens. I'm going to come and talk to the lead presenter now, Beth Ann Rees-Roberts. Hi, Beth. It's great to see you.
Nice to see you.
We are live streaming for the first time. You're watching us on the live stream. Oh my goodness. This gives a whole new level.
I know.
Oh my
I'm watching
goodness.
it.
Oh, so you present Newyddion?
Yes.
And what really fascinates me with this is that you're covering international news, global news, aren't you, as well as Welsh news. So how do you manage that balance?
It's a different agenda to Wales Today. As you say, we do hyper-local stories, you know, we go into communities, but we also do a complete service. So, for example, we've just had a team in Turkey in the horrendous earthquakes for a week. They're heading home today. So yeah, the whole gamut. And today, for example, which is a relatively quiet news day, we're leading on the same story as Wales Today. That doesn't always happen, but we're both, as two programmes, going on the same WIU story.
Yeah. And do you know what, we were chatting earlier, weren't we, about some of the things that can go wrong as a presenter. Sometimes we get little glitches.
Well, this is
don't
where,
we?
yeah. You're just coming off here now, Wales Today, but normally if I was presenting tonight, I'd be over there doing the headlines. And then if you forget this, or you forget your earpiece, how many times have we been stuck outside that studio? My pass, and it could be, you know, literally minutes to go. So yeah, it's touch and go, isn't it?
Yes.
But
I know, we've got to hang on to
keep
these.
going.
Right,
keep
Wales Today is
going.
almost off the air. Beth, thank you so much. Right, I think they are just literally doing the end link. Are they off air? Oh, I'm getting waved at by Nick Savini, so I think Wales Today may now be off the air. So let's go in and chat to everybody and find out how it went for them. So here we go. Oh my gosh, the time has flown by, hasn't it? Hello, team. Hi, how was it? Oh my goodness me. It was so amazing being in gallery while you were doing your headlines. I can't tell you, it gave me a completely new perspective.
So we've had the inevitable question from Derek, who went over so that he had a shorter weather bulletin. So for people to know, this is how it works, basically.
After every programme.
He gets cut if other correspondents go over. I thought it went pretty well. You know, I don't know what it sort of felt like, looking unusual, wasn't it?
Amazing. Oh, it was amazing. Yes, it was really, really funny. That's the bit that I got nervous about, actually, doing the live into Wales Today. But yeah, it's been amazing.
And I mean, I think hopefully, maybe people get an idea of how important the director is. Because maybe that's something, there's the producer who kind of puts it together with us during the course of the day, but when we're live on air, it's Carolyn who's really calling the shots there, isn't it? Yeah. You know, and it's just...
Well, I think the one thing this really shows is that it is 100% a team effort, and everybody is as important as everybody else in this entire process. It's not one person, it's not the presenter, it is everybody. Talking about presenters, we have to go and talk to our star weatherman over here. I'm coming under the cameras here. Hello.
Hi, Lucy. How are you doing?
Joe, it was great to see you earlier. We didn't plan that. It was great to bump into Derek. But talk to me about how things have changed. I loved it when you said that literally you used to sort of stick the clouds onto the map, and now look at these fabulous screens that you have.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen some huge changes over the years since I started the job back in, 1997, working for BBC Wales, but before that I was in the Met Office. But here at BBC Wales, I mean, we've got these fantastic screens now, which, I mean, just look at that Weather Watchers picture taken today in Barmouth. It's fantastic, isn't it? The quality. It almost feels as if you're there. And then we've got the weather graphics. There's the map of Wales. It looks so clear in the screen, don't they? You can see the clouds, the winds picking up, and the temperatures as well. If I bring those on, you can see where there's going to be a frost tonight. The blue colours on the map, not quite so cold in Pembrokeshire. And then we've got the pressure charts as well. So, things have come on, leaps and bounds with advances in technology since I was a boy.
I couldn't help notice when you were talking there, Derek, that all those images changed at the perfect time. What were you doing?
I was pressing this little device here. It looks like something to do with it might be a car fob, you know, but it's actually changing the charts behind me in the screen. So you just press that and the chart moves on. It's as simple as that. Sometimes things don't go according to plan and the clicker, as we call it, gets stuck. So I'm sometimes there pressing it several times and then the chart changes, or maybe the battery's going. So sometimes you have to think on your feet a little bit.
Do you know what I think is really impressive about our weather presenters as well is that you have no auto cue. And actually, I don't know whether you can see, you do your weather, don't you, to camera 4 there. There's no auto cue there, but in fact, you get the reflection of the weather map, don't you? And you just literally tell the weather story from that.
You can see yourself in the camera screen, so that helps me as a kind of an aid memoir, if you like, to get through the story and tell the story. So being able to see myself and the map, I can see it behind me and in the camera as well. So, you know, that my sort of helps me to tell the story. You know, and we're working with the weather through the day, so you get to know what's happening. And the hardest thing really is if our time is cut, because
I knew he'd bring that up again.
The producer said I would start off about 2:30 and then it dropped to 2 minutes, and then I got a little bit grumpy when I heard it was going down to 1:45, and I thought it must be Lucy.
No, probably my fault. It's always my fault. It's always my fault. I'm loving this. The live rant from Derek. Are you feeling better now you've got this off your chest? We don't like to cut you, we promise.
Well, the weather's very important. It's the most important part of the programme.
Of course it is. I mean, I don't know why we don't lead with it every night, Derek. No, but it's true. People, it's really important to me. And it does really affect people. And lots of people do tune in just for the weather and for you.
Yeah, I mean, the weather it affects everything we do, doesn't it? What we wear, how we feel, what we eat, and it affects travelling as well, which is really important.
Yes. Okay. Now, look who has joined us in the studio. Let's come over and chat to Nikki, who we weren't allowed to talk to earlier. But that is because she is a total professional and was 100% focused on her job, isn't it, Nikki? Thomas David, can you budge up a little bit, please? Thank you so much. So, Nikki, how was the programme? It seemed really calm in gallery today.
Yeah, do you know what? It was very calm in gallery today. I like to think that's because we're terribly organised and we knew this was going on. But no. Oh, I know. But I mean, some days are really busy. Some days the news is changing all the time. At 5 o'clock, you're changing your lead story. You know, there can be a lot happening right up to the wire, and I think sometimes people don't realise that you know, pieces are making it into the running order with 20 seconds to go. You know, it can be very, very stressful. Other days it's quiet. No 2 days are ever the same, and I think that's probably why we love it, isn't it? Because it is very varied. But you know, once we get into gallery, my job really is to not say very much at all, because I'm in the hands of Carolyn and you know the sound people and lighting, and you know, it's a team effort basically.
You are keeping cross timings of the programme, which is crucial as well, isn't it?
Yes, so we're constantly riding the time, as Derek has made very clear. I warned him earlier that I thought he might have a little bit less than 2 minutes 30, and then it went down to 2 minutes 15, and then Lucy's live went a little over, so we're riding the time constantly. What he doesn't know is he actually only had 1:40. So
I still got to the out though.
You did. But yeah, timing is a really important thing. So we are constantly looking at the running order. What might we have to drop? What can we change? Where can we make savings? So yeah, it's you get off air at 7, and it's always a sense of relief.
Yeah. Derek, I would like to formally apologise for going over on the programme and ruining your forecast. So let's talk through the sport.
Yeah, it's been a very, very busy period. Sport making headlines at the start of the programme in recent weeks and towards the end of the programme too. So up in Murrayfield at the weekend, covering that, and now back down just to pick the bones out of that defeat and look ahead. First look ahead to the next game. But I think it's true. I think you all know this. The relentless pace of this job means I've already got one eye on tomorrow's programme. What's happening tomorrow? We've got a team in Spain covering the women's football. Wales women are playing in the Pinatar Cup tomorrow. So I'm thinking I need to coordinate those crews and the piece I'm doing tomorrow. So you never stand still in this job. You always think about the next programme, the next day, the following week. So it's quite kind of relentless pace in this. But I think I'd rather be kind of non-stop on the go all the time. That's why I like the job, I think.
Yeah, and I have to say that Thomas is a bit of a legend on Wales Today, because when you are out in the field, you do so much, don't you? It's not just doing the interviews. I mean, you do a lot of the technical stuff as well. Can you just talk people through exactly what you do?
Yeah, but doing, for example, doing in Qatar for the World Cup, big outside broadcasts. We had facilities in the stadium, we had facilities in another studio, but most nights we've got our own little pack, little live view pack. We broadcast live anywhere we want around the world. Frankly, connectivity is better abroad than in some parts of Wales, it's got to be said. But then you'll go to the press conferences. Most occasions you'll have a camera person with you, but then you've got to script the piece yourself, you've got to cut the piece yourself. You get a call from presenters late in the afternoon asking for headline shots. So that's all edited on the laptop, sometimes in a car park in I don't know, the Georgian capital, or Moldova, or Qatar, or China, wherever we're sent around the world. And what the most important thing is, it's got to make, wherever you are, whatever the technical problems, and I've had some horrific kind of things happen abroad and things not working, you still got to kind of go the extra mile to make sure it gets on air, because the deadline is 6:30. That does not move. You've got to make it, because that's the time you go on air.
It always makes with him.
Yeah.
100%.
Jinx me now.
No, it always does. I know it does. I'm always confident that when it's you, it'll make.
Where was that tournament? Was it the Rugby World Cup in Japan? It was a horrible time for you. And you'd get up at sort of 3 o'clock in the morning.
Didn't go to sleep, Nick. Don't go to sleep. So you can work all day. Can work all. This is all night. You do the day job, and then you stay up, and then on air 3:30, 4 o'clock, having travelled from southern Japan to the north of the country. But it's good, though. I wouldn't change it for the world. I think I prefer to work it in America. I think the time zones work better for us. But great tournaments, great kind of. And when you work abroad too, you get. Oh, my phone's going. And when you work abroad, you really get under the skin of a story. You're covering an event or a team every hour of every day for however many weeks. 6 weeks in Rugby World Cup. Unfortunately, just 2 weeks with the Football World Cup last autumn. I wish it would have been longer, hey. But it's a great privilege to do the job.
Do you know what? You did mention about when things go wrong, and I think we've probably all got a few stories. One thing I remember doing is, this is when we were back in Llandaff before we moved to Central Square. I remember you doing a live headline, and I just walked completely in front of your camera while you were doing it, didn't I? Do you remember that? I don't know whether you were directing, Carolyn.
It wasn't me, Lucy.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have done that.
I know, walked right in front of his shot. I just remember as I did it, you just kind of raised your eyebrows at me. It was just a little, okay. I'm just going to carry on. True pro that you were.
Yeah, these things happen. I've got to say, there's loads of near mistakes that happen or near misses that happen. And luckily, thanks to the staff in gallery, you rescue things at the last minute.
Yeah, we save it.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Oh, do you know what?
I think that's
This is our cue to get out. So literally the studio is just changing now. We're getting ready for Newyddion, who are going to be coming in here next after us. So I think that probably brings our live stream to an end. I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody who's joined us to mark 100 years of the BBC in Wales with this first for us, this live stream on Facebook and on the BBC Wales News website. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, look, you can see. Okay, so this is how the studio transforms for Newyddion. And actually, in fact, this whole desk rotates. So the Newyddion presenter will sit here, whereas the Wales Today presenter, Nick, sits there with a view into the newsroom, and the Newyddion presenter sits here with this fantastic screen behind them. So yes, I need to say goodbye because we're about to, the whole Wales Today team is about to hijack Newyddion. So we really do need to leave the studio. But I just want to say a huge thank you to you for joining us on this live stream. And a huge thank you to all of you for watching Wales Today. We really do appreciate you joining us, and I hope that you continue to do so. So thank you so much, and we're all going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Yay, well done.